Hello and welcome you beautiful people to Anno 2205, my first impressions after 11 hours of gameplay. Anno 2205. Right, let's get straight into it and then I shall tell you what it's all about. Actually, just before we do that, settings menu, it'll go up to ultra high, anti-aliasing, I don't know what the hell it is. However, this game, after 10 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 8 hours, whatever it is, it will just decide to chug like hell, and it has no representation on what you're running at. You can run it on low, and it'll do exactly the same thing. You can run it on ultra high, it'll do exactly the same thing. After an undetermined amount of time, you'll have to exit the entire game and then reload it, and then it will run fine again for another 10, 20 minutes or an hour or 3 hours or whatever. It just seems completely random. It needs optimization. However, it's only day 2 and typical Ubisoft fare. So you got your video settings, your audio settings, key bindings, which you can bind, but it's all on mouse anyway, and then the gameplay. Audio language you have to download outside of the game. Obviously I've got English. Tutorials are useless and they come up anyway, regardless of whether you put enable tutorials on or not. So, what's this all about? Well, you start by creating a corporation. I've made one here called badly named Twitch. You have 3 possible starting zones. They are here, here, and here. They will always be the same starting zones. You then move on to one of 3 Arctic zones, and then 3 moon zones, each with difficulties, ratings, and different things that you have to do. And as you can see from this map here, this is where you do all your trading, new transfer nodes, decide what you want and where from, and you get the idea of it, right? A couple of nice things on here. You can see how much money you're not making. At the moment, these 2 are ridiculous. This is making a nice amount of money. You can see resources, people, how many people you've got, energy, and spaceports, what you've got there. Also from here as well, you can see how much money you have, the credits, so what you're making. I've got a debt repayment because I got into serious trouble. It will be repaid in 3 hours and 41 minutes of real time. Yay! How many people I've got, where they work, temperate, Arctic, or lunar region. And then you have your 4 rare items. Now, rare items are got by doing quests and the strange RTS-esque kind of battleships that go on in one of these 2 zones. They do change. However, they are fairly standard. We'll end with that because they can go on for quite some time. You use these to build modules on your items, therefore reducing the cost of them in some way. Each time you need to load into a new area, which you can jump in and out of at will, you have to load that area. Now, since this is the first time I've switched this game on this morning, it's going to take a little time. So we shall just jump straight in. Oh, also from here as well, you've got your own vaulting system.
It'll help us all.
So, which one you want to go for? Agriculture and food, energy, etc., etc. Who's been voting on what? Boom, done that.
So
the
much
docks
for
is
working
where
in
you
peace and
upgrade
quiet.
your ships. Yes, they look basic as crap, and yes, they look basic as crap, especially next to him. Why they look like that, I don't know, but there you go. The ships look crap as well on the RTS. And finally, you've got your assignment center you can go through. So I'm on part 26, Digital Warfare, and you can see what you're being doing and bits and bobs like that. As usual, things that happen will come up here. You can also trade with the space station. So your ultimate goal is to get to the moon and pump back energy from fusion reactors back down here. Each one of these areas will have a kind of side goal. So on this one, I started off with 3 broken dams. I talked to this lady and did a plethora of quests and got the first dam up and running. Then when I got to a certain corporation rank, which goes up here, you will get more and more blueprints, and you will get new things to unlock, and you'll be able to talk to them more. So here's all your blueprints, and here's what everything you can build. Seems quite a bit, however I do think it's probably less than Anno 2070, and then you've got your achievements here as well.
Give me a status update.
Corporation level is nothing really to worry about, it just kind of goes along anyway. Now one thing you'll notice is that I'm not actually micromanaging a damn thing here, and that's because you don't have to in this game. This game you basically plonk down your buildings and they make money. You plonk down this building here, this is making me fruit. It's 700%. How, may you ask? Well, in the old ones it was by working out the eco balance, wasn't it? In this it's basically just having enough of this crap up here. So for argument's sake, you can build up to, I think it's 4 of these, 4 to 6 modules that will increase the productivity, but will increase the maintenance cost, and then up to 5 of these items here. One of them will be for less workforce, one of them for less energy, so on and so forth. So you've got to work out what you need less of. So this is more about building a building and then adding to it than building several buildings. In this one, completely different, which I know a lot of people are not going to like. It looks Anno-y, it's got the music, although again it's not as nice. I don't think the graphics are as nice, and as I said, it runs like arse after just an undetermined amount of time. So you've got all your resources up here. You've always got your 3 mains, so for this area, it's these biopolymers, the construction bots, and your super alloys, so, you know, as it goes on, there'll be another one maybe. There's no drop-down menu this time either. Now, there are no disasters either, so I can leave this here with plus 15,000, go for a bath, come back, it'll be exactly the same. There is actually no fighting on these maps at all, and there is also no multiplayer. Now, I am going to be quite harsh on this game, mainly because due to Uplay's fuck-ups before and bad customer service, I had vouchers to use this month, and this game only cost me £15 instead of the full £50 sterling, the one with the Queen's head on it. Monies. So just bear that in mind when I'm reviewing it. I'm going to probably try and be quite harsh on it, because I know you guys and girls will be paying upwards of £50 for the standard edition, and that's without the season pass.
I'm no good with guns. Mind taking the field for me?
So what you got? You've got your building places. Now you will start on one of 3 areas. This is the one I chose, and like I said, this one had a submission as I went along to build the 3 dams back up because they were broken. So I get a lot of power here, and as you can see, I'm only got 1 other power plant, I think, pumping out stuff. Yeah. So that brings me on to this little bit. It's awkward is the word I'm going to use. So you press on the building that you want to build on, and here I can either build water, I can build power, or I can build algae. Now what it'll tell me here is the construction costs and how much algae it'll give me, but it doesn't tell me the power output, how many people it will require. For that, I'm going to have to say I wanted another one of these, so I know that it's going to give me 5 water, it's going to cost 500 and polymers. I've got to go to this one to kind of get an idea of how much it's actually going to cost, and this has been fully upgraded. So that's what they've added in this. Rather than building many different things, what you do is you build one and then you upgrade them. So for argument's sake, if I wanted some more, there you go, you upgrade it, there is 2 more slots. This starts with 1, you get 3, you get the idea, and then you add on your add-ons on here. These ones are financial calculators to reduce the amount of money it costs to run the thing. You've got your mines, you've got your other places. The way that you find out how and where and what you need is down here. It will tell you in up figures how much production you've got, and you can hover over them, and in down figures what you need. So at the moment I'm all good and dandy and happy with everything. Obviously some of these things are made here, some of them are made on the Arctic and moved over, and some of them are made on the moon, and that's where your trade comes in. You can also see what the Arctic is giving you here, and what your lunar is giving you here. So I haven't actually built that yet, so it's saying I have -10. Now, if you've ever played any other Anno games, you'll know that there are different class systems. Struggling to find a small house. So they'll start off like this.
So how may I be of service?
Hello! One thing to note, every single person looks the same. Every single person in that building looks like her.
I wish I could stop the
There are no...
Four walls. Come in, sit yourself
Everybody
down.
that's in the workers' residence looks like him. Everybody's in there looks like Eddie Murphy. So, you know, you get the idea. And they have different needs. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, and then eventually... Let's find one of the big ones.
So,
a Tron
my
building
investments
tier.
did pay off.
Shut up. And then you need different things that you've got to keep happy. And the more happy you keep them, the more money. And the more tiers, the more money. And therefore, they give you more money. And obviously, it's a balancing act between building enough production, which costs money to do, and having everybody happy. Now, as you can see, they've upped the amount of different things going on. You can zoom in pretty damn far, actually. It's quite nice to just watch your city going around. There we go, it's all happening. It doesn't look that great when you zoom in, but obviously when you're zoomed out, it looks quite impressive. So that's standard fare. Like I said, there is no multiplayer. Bugger, bastard, arse. There isn't a way of automatically upgrading your population if you wish. However, you can do it from here, or you can simply just do it by clicking on the building, and they will automatically become the next level. Like so. Boom. The building types don't seem as diverse as they did in 2070. Because there is no disasters, like I said, there's no kind of feeling that you need to be with it all the time. You can just go bugger off and do something else. So they've given you things to bugger off and go do something else with. And I'll show you those now. So you get the basic idea of building. I'm not going to go through it with you. You build things. They wanted security, so I built security, and it's got a certain range. There you go. That's what it is. The other thing that you need to work out as well is every island that you build will have, you have to build transport centers, and you'll have a logistics supply. Now, the logistics supply, you can build these anywhere, however, it is more advantageous to build them within your factory centers because it will put down the need for logistics. So if I moved that now, that might be maybe 7, but it's only 3 because the logistics center's right there. And you've got to keep an eye on this. That's it for building, basically, and you will always start on one of 3 areas. This one and the other 2, and I'll show you one of the ones in a moment. Which is a bit of a bastard because it's never going to be different. You will start on this map. If you started on this map today, you bought this today and started, you would be told to build 10 buildings, and then build, they need to build a bit of power and a bit of water because you have to. And then you'd build these 2. And they don't run out, by the way, this time. There are no resources to them, they just constantly collect. So it's not like you have to move around. Again, I'm not sure I like that at all. There you go, it's just what happens. It's... In the old games, you'd have to move around all the time, and obviously that was something that you'd have to think about. Resources weren't infinite, they are infinite on this, so there's something to take away from that. Whilst you're not doing anything, there will be constantly 3 quests, which will be things like attach a drone to your command ship, and go around and use it to kill a person.
Ah, perfect timing. My friend, I have a...
Another one, exactly the same. You do it, you get 130 iridium. Iridium is what you use to buy these things. I think a lot of people are going to be slightly disappointed that it doesn't have like the micromanagement that the other Anno's games have, and it really doesn't. It kind of gives you filler with these quests down here. These quests which are these quests which are tied into the ships that I told you earlier on. We will have a weird RTS, which I'll show you later, and then there's your main hub, which is basically you do it up to a spaceport. So it allows energy transfer, lunar region, etc., etc. And each area's got this. I've played 11 hours of this, and I can't say that I haven't had fun with it. I have. I just wish it had been a little bit more Anno 2070-ish. It is quite dulled down. However, the challenge comes in different ways. You have to micromanage up to 12 different areas. 3 of them in the Arctic, 3 of them there, 3 of them here. And if we just load up the Arctic area now, you can come out at any time. This will continue
you're really
to do
expanding.
its work.
Hope my
However,
branch office in this sector sees some activity now.
It says that exact every single goddamn time. It'll load up the new area. Now, these other places continue to tick by, but because nothing can happen to them, there's no real sense of urgency to get back to any of them. And that's probably one of the main flaws. One of the nice things, though, while I'm just talking about all the bad things, is when you go to a new zone, like this area here, it looks a mess. Yeah, that's right. Because you can only build your houses here where there is heat. So you have to build the factories in between your buildings to provide them with heat. And obviously these guys here, they only level up twice, and they've got different things that they would like to have, and you can build different things from power plants, etc, etc, and then someone gets sent back. Pretty standard fare. Looks very nice again. This is the one where your computer will die when there is a snowstorm because it is so badly optimized. Again, you get stuff, you upgrade them exactly the same way. And again, there's only 2 different types of people on this one, so there's her, and there's him.
You thought you just dropped by?
Her, him. Could have done a little bit better with that, guys, and they say exactly the same things. I think each one's got about 3 different things they say, and that's about it. In the Anno 2070, they had a shit ton more. Again, though, do not buy this game if you're expecting Anno 2072. On this particular map, I went for rare resources. As you can see here, they used petrochemicals here. I did a mission, you get this, and every so often I can collect more. Brilliant. Not that I need to, they're pretty easy to come by. And again, you have exactly the same missions.
Do you have an idea how to solve this?
Find a snowplow on any island. You go, you find it, you click it, and he gives you 21 more petrochemicals. As easy as that. Now, on every single area, there's always a person to not trade with, just buy, basically. My storage is full of all these, so I can't actually do anything, but the whole thing about it is that
This is so cool.
It's not much trading, to be honest. You can't trade with him, and there's nobody else around. This is the island you'll have, and again, if you start this island when you get here, you will have exactly the same island as me, and you will start... You get a starting point. You can start on any one of this island, this island, this island, this island, and there's generally 3 or 4 islands on each one. And you can decide to start on whichever one you wish, and each area has benefits and downfalls. So one may have more
This building space
coastal building sites, whereas one might have more mountain sites. I can't think what they're called. I think they're just called mountain sites. Yeah, mountain sites. And again, you can do exactly the same things here. You can add more power, you can add more finance, you can reduce the amount of people it takes, etc, etc. So the nice thing about this is that the building style, that you have to build them around heat. Lastly, for the 3 areas, again, you've got 3 areas of the moon that you can go to, which I'm going to have to load into.
The orbital watch is a threat to every
And it will load up what you're doing.
We should all...
Anytime. There you go. So here's the moon. This has got a nice mechanic to it. You can only build in the craters, and as you can see I have. It's very, very expensive to get up here, and I can't fathom how you make money out of it. I don't think you do. But the whole idea is to build a fusion power generator, which I already have, and send it through this little thing here back down to Earth, although power is not something I have a problem with, but there you go. You can also expand to this one here. Pretty expansive, looks very nice.
Under provision of specific consumables.
And again, you'll have different quests to do. So the main one here is refugees. I've been helping her out. And she'll give me more workforce. So I think the idea up here is to have very few workers. Have very few workers and just be all about the manufacturing and sending things back down to Earth. They have different requirements as well. They have logistics again. And that brings me on to what you have to do up here. Much the same way as you have to have the heat for the guys in the Arctic. You have to have shield generators for the...
You don't have to, like, make reports.
Shut up. Shield generator for these areas, and they can only be built under shield generator. It's kind of nice, but then, I mean, it's just more of a pain in the arse, actually, more than anything else, to be honest. At least the heat one kind of was kind of nice. This is another place where if it decides that it's going to have a little bit of a fit, your computer will have a fit here, and it's a little bit frickin' annoying. There you go, there's another quest. There you go, there's a quest.
You're free to face the challenge, if you dare.
Attach vehicle to your lunar expedition and tow it back. So they're all exactly the same quests on each one. You can buy out these islands. I've already bought this one. You can buy that one, buy that one, buy that one, and it is tied into your corporation rank. So there is your standard building. There's not much more to say about it. I mean, I'm trying not to babble on too much because of the simple fact that
I got a job, but it might get kind of violent, you know?
I played this for 11 hours last night and didn't get much sleep, so I'll tend to babble on about crap that doesn't really need to be done. There are 3 difficulty levels as well, by the way. Standard, Advanced, and Expert. I've been playing this one on Standard. I'm playing another one on Advanced. I would strongly suggest anybody that's played any of these games ever before to play this on Advanced. Because Standard is just far too... it is a bit too easy. I've started to play it through Advanced and it's a lot more difficult, but it all just comes, because there's no disasters and stuff, it just comes down to money management and making sure your people don't do anything. They don't seem to degrade either. I accidentally left a building for over an hour in the cold. It didn't degrade or die or anything, it just stayed there saying I'm cold, which is something that probably needs to be changed. So another way to get iridium and petrochemicals and... actually no, just iridium and graphite from here is to do these missions. They're always in the same 2 places. And it does use the same map several different times. Now, when you put it together, that these areas are quite large, however, there are only 12 of them. An Anno 2070, I know I keep on saying it's not 2070, but Anno 2070 did have a much bigger area for you to build because it just felt bigger because it was always different. Enough of that. What's this? Yeah, your crappy looking ships that I came onto. So basically, you maneuver them, and you got like a very basic RTS. The better you do with them.
Enemy detected. All hands engaged.
Just leave those. So I've got a goal here to destroy this place up here, if I so wish, and also other quests to do. Iridium. If I use the wave mine 4 times, she will give me some combat experience in Iridium. And there's 3 quests in each one, and they tend to be the same ones. Deliver 5 fuel, and
I could really
this
use
one
your help,
is
but I gotta
deliver
warn
3.
you.
Now you can just go off and do the main quest and come back to these if you wish. And this is got superpowers in it, so you've got a repair, a shield, and mines, which run off the fuel that you collect. And then you've got an EMP, call for reinforcements, and a nuclear missile that are collected from these little things here. Basically, you float around, you do what you want to do. There you go. We're just going to run straight into this place.
Battle stations.
And just complete it so you can see. But yeah, you get the idea. You run around, you collect your fuel.
On our way.
There's your big juggernaut, there's your like smaller ships, there's your
Battle
missile
stations.
kind of guy,
They're
and then there's move away from these guys. I don't mind.
Clear for action.
And then there's your like mortar guys. Not much to say really. I mean, this does feel a little bit lackluster. It's got to say. It's got to be said.
Open fire.
They didn't really put much thought into this, and it's just a distraction away from your main buildings and building. Which, by the way, are not doing anything. They're just generating me money. I haven't built a damn thing. I haven't had to deal with a damn thing since I've been away.
Underway.
All of this time that you've been sitting here watching me, I haven't built a damn thing. Yeah, we're just gonna destroy this place.
Battle stations.
Attack it then, guys. They're a little bit unresponsive. You'll get petrochemicals. There are places to destroy. Let me see if I can show you one. Like this, there's places like this. It's an iridium storage. Once you've destroyed it, it will just give you some.
Battle stations.
So you can spend a lot of time in here. You can spend not too much time in here if you want, but
we're under fire.
It'll get you a little bit of something. And you can
Thanks
do
for
this.
retaking the
Pardon me. You can
climate
do this on 3
stabilizers
different
for us.
levels, and then you'll
Really
get a military
appreciate
rank.
that.
Once you get a new military rank, you can upgrade your ships, which are ridiculously expensive, 150k. Why not? Brilliant. There we go. Now it's slightly tougher. Rinse and repeat. So for that, I got 30. I got 13 of that. 19 petrochemicals, 4 and 1. If I did more of these quests, I'd get more. If I did it on harder difficulty level,
So,
I'd have
at least
more.
now we know you can hit things that don't move.
So, I mean, I've been trying to keep this brief, guys, because if you played Anno 2070, then you'll have an idea, but it is quite a dumbed-down experience. The nice parts of it are that these areas are very large. I mean, as you can see here, this was 12, this is one of 12 areas. However, you will just be playing on 3 predominantly until you get enough money to buy another one. Take it slow. It's going to be a hard sell for some people. It is completely different, and I know difference isn't always bad, but they had something with the Anno series, and although it looks like Anno, it does kind of have the same kind of feel of Anno. The feeling that you have to get back and really micromanage your people is not here in this one. It's more about fluff. It's more about those side quests, and basically I've spent most of my time getting iridium so that I can build, so I can make this juicer be at 400%.
Warning. Unfulfilled demand.
Because
for
I've
specific
added
consumer
these little
products.
things on it. Not fearful that these people are going to downgrade their buildings if they don't get something, because they're not. They'll just sit there forever and a day.
Motivation is at an all-time high.
You also cannot take away certain items from the person if you're having trouble. I know that you did that before. You could do ascension rights and take away certain things and say, look, you're not getting that. And you can also not change the taxes of the people either. They just pay what they pay. Something that was in the original Anno games as well. It looks Anno. It sounds Anno. I don't know where they've gone with the water. This is a running on Ultra. To be honest, it looks a bit like arse. I don't know if people were having a problem before. It's 50 quid, guys. You have to go through Uplay to play it, although I believe you can buy it on Steam, but it still goes at Uplay. That might be a killer for some people. And you will be playing on the same 3 maps of this, the same 3 maps of Tundra, and the same 3 maps of Luna over and over again. Is it fun? Yes, it is, but for different reasons, because it is quite challenging to keep 3 places up and running at the same time. What I would really like, though, what I'd really, really like is if there was disasters and things. There's no, like I said, I could sit here all day and just do nothing. I would just collect money. Oh, I'd collect money, by the way, until I got to 3 million, and then it would stop collecting money because apparently my bank doesn't allow me to have more than 3 million quid in it. What fucking bank in the entire universe would go, oh, you got 3 million, but you want to put another million in? Oh, no, I'm sorry, we're not taking your money anymore. What fucking ridiculous uselessness is that? There's a lot taken out. It's got to be said, guys, and I know where the annoyance is. And like I said, I think I enjoyed it a lot more, probably because I only paid £15 for it. If I had paid £50 for this, I think I would be quite salty. It's a hard one. I would very much advise you to watch other people reviewing it, full reviews, first impressions, and if you can get onto Twitch for an afternoon or something, watch somebody playing it and see if this is for you. I've started the game on the next difficulty level up, and I'm having a lot more fun with it that way. But it does seem quite artificially slowed down. So the harder difficulty, because there's no tragedies and there's no pirates to contend with, it is basically just that everything just costs more. Or no, it doesn't cost more, it just produces less money. So your people would produce 500 in this, they only do the 300 in the next one up. That's it. Which is a very artificial crap way of doing things. And something they really need to look at. Every sim, every building thing since the beginning of SimCity had earthquakes and disasters and hospitals. Not even fucking hospitals in this. The security forces, you stick it down, it's only because they need it. There's no crime. These are never going to get crime. If I took these away, it doesn't really matter. Nothing. So, to sum it up, it's going to be a very hard sell for people when they have taken so much out of the game that was in previous games. I would say if this is your first venture into Anno, probably pick up at the moment 2070. I believe it's only £5. With all the add-ons, I think it's about 20 quid. I've got about 360 hours into that, and I still haven't beaten the damn thing and done everything. It's also got multiplayer on it, which again I've mentioned this one hasn't. It's got your pirates, it's got your epidemics, it's got your fires, and you have to micromanage absolutely everything. If you are more of a kind of build and sit back and just watch things, just watch your city, if you're one of these people that just likes to sit here and watch trains moving around, then brilliant, get this one. But it is 50 quid. That is my first impressions of this, guys. I hope it's been informative. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope my voice hasn't been too drony today, but I was up till 3 o'clock this morning playing this for 11 solid hours. So, thank you very much for watching, guys, again. I will see you next time, and I will see you tomorrow on Thursday for my weekly tavern roll. Thank you very much. See you later, guys.